CCPC.
For joining us today. Today's press conference concerns the future leadership of our judiciary following the departure of former Chief Justice Enforcement Beyond, as well as the governor's nomination for the next Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. First and foremost, the Office of the Governor would like to once again recognize Chief Justice Enforcement Beyond for his service to the state of Ridgeway. There are few individuals whose contributions have shaped our government to the extent that his have. Much of the Ridgeway judiciary, its procedures, and the legal foundation upon which our government operates today were built through his leadership and dedication. Beyond his legal expertise, he was also a trusted colleague and mentor to countless members of our community. His departure marks the end of a remarkable chapter in Ridgeway's history, and we thank him for everything he has done for our state. Although his departure leaves behind significant shoes to fill, the Office of the Governor remains optimistic about the direction of our legal community. Over the last several weeks, meaningful progress has already begun under Attorney General Adam Stratton and many others throughout the Department of Justice. The department has resumed recruiting and training attorneys, hiring more prosecutors, restoring investigative divisions across law enforcement, and strengthening coordination with investigators by directing new hires in SBI and RCSO-CID. These are important first steps, but rebuilding Ridgeway's legal community will require strong leadership from every level of government. That brings us to today's announcement. After careful consideration, Governor Rathusan is pleased to nominate Associate Justice I'm Not Rami to become the second Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Ridgeway. Many members of the community know him from his previous service as Chief Justice during Ridgemaid, Attorney General of the state, and as one of Ridgeway's most experienced legal practitioners. Beyond the courtroom, he also engineered and developed the Ridgeway Court's website, which dramatically improved accessibility to our legal system and continues to serve the community today. Throughout the governor's conversations with Justice I'm Not Rami, one thing has remained consistently clear. He understands the challenges currently facing our judiciary. He understands what needs to change, and he is prepared to lead those changes. The governor has every confidence that Justice Amnat Rami will continue the progress established under Chief Justice Enforcement Beyond while bringing his own leadership and vision to the future of Ridgeway's courts. The governor will shortly transmit this nomination to the state senate for its advice and consent. With that, we will open the floor now for questions unless the nominee would like to speak.
I'll keep my remarks brief. I am very excited to once again reprise my old role as Chief Justice of our great state, and I am not facing this endeavor alone. We will be once again reconstructing, redefining, and rediscovering new ways on how to empower and, of course, further build out our legal community. I'm happy to say that I have a great team of people aside me, from our current judges to our current justices, Teki and Frostbleed, and I am sure that as we continue to pave out ways for new members of the community to join our legal community, over time we'll see more and more new faces become more and more regular, and the next generation will hopefully, in months and years, continue where we all started and take our mantle. As for my remarks, that's really all I have to say. Um, if there's any questions for me, I'd be happy to take them. Thank you.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand, and we'll bring you on the stage. Or if you can't raise your hand, just ping in general chat.
Charles has a question for you, I believe.
Okay.
Thank you, amigo. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor, uh, from some reports, it was announced that Clerk of the Supreme Court, Rummy, would be leaving his post shortly after you published the first nomination of Mr. Rummy to be Chief Justice. Do you have any comments on why he would resign at the announcement of such, a vital position?
Of course. The initial nomination did result in some discourse initially, but after a long period of discussion with, some of the other members of the bench and the clerk, we reconciled that, and I am certain that the clerk will not be resigning this time around. Tactical Rummy is a very valued member of our, not only our legal community, but just the community at large. And, we realized that it would be such a loss to have him depart. But I am certain um, that he will not be leaving upon Mr. I'm Not Rummy's nomination.
I have one more question, Mr. Governor. Uh, since obviously, I'm Not Rummy's going to be taking former Chief Justice's enforcement beyond seat, uh, are you going to announce any replacement to this Ridgeway Supreme Court to fill the vacant seats left behind?
At this point in time, no, but I do plan on working very closely with the current lineup of justices to scout and evaluate more qualified nominees to fill the vacancies. I understand there are many, and we shouldn't leave them vacant for too long, but I also understand that the selection of any Supreme Court justice is a very rigorous and thorough process and not one that should be rushed. So, in due time, we will announce more nominations.
Just to follow up one more, Mr. Governor. I'm sorry, but would you ever consider Mr. Arthur Chen for any of the vacant seats?
I would not.
All right, thank you, Mr. Governor.
All right. If anybody else has questions, I believe one of the audience is he here? J. Christian McLeod has a question.
Hello,
Yes.
Mr. Governor. This is Jay McClaw with the Palmer Times. I do have a question for you. So regarding the cases within, this state, specifically, criminal ones, there's been some concern over different individuals not having justice fully realized, right? With all the struggles that the department has been facing. Can you speak on that? How can you let the civilians of Ridgeway know that they are being cared for, and that, their legal concerns won't just be thrown away?
Mm-hmm. So normally I would have the Attorney General speak more on this, but I can briefly talk on the matter at hand. There's been a huge backlog that's existed prior to the current AG's tenure. I mean, the last two Attorney Generals and the Department of Justice under their tenure has been quite disastrous, but the current Attorney General has been working really hard on not only dropping the cases that could not be solved, but making sure that any new cases that come in have proper representation. I mean, we just saw the Attorney General vacate the arrest of two um, sheriff deputies who were unlawfully arrested by a state police trooper. So in that regard, he's already begun, ensuring that justice has been delivered. We've, begun targeting our efforts on criminal organizations such as KDS, and I'm sure that the Justice Department is working on finishing and wrapping up ongoing criminal cases in the court currently. But nevertheless, the new Attorney General, the new Justice Department under his tenure has been doing great. I'm sure that there will not be any inefficiencies as we've seen in previous tenures of the previous AGs.
Okay. An additional question for you. Do we have a timeline for this? Do we know how long this is going to take?
To be honest with you, not really. And I feel that a lot of the current processes with the legal community and the justice system will take a while, but as we mentioned in the press conference, a lot of the work being done so far has been done in such a short time frame that we're already making pretty good progress, and we're going to continue that progress. So, regardless of the time it takes, I mean, we'll be delivering results day by day, and I'm sure that, the inefficiencies of the past will not happen again.
Okay, that's all my questions. Thank you.
You.
Okay, if Busta Z could be brought up on stage, he has a question as well.
Sure.
Hello? Can you hear me,
Hello,
Mr. Governor?
Busta.
Hello. I have question. I'm aware I'm not Rami is currently in the state of Mayflower as well. Are you certain that he is not a Mossad agent from the Mayflower state and that he might be here in order to gain information?
Believe me, my office and I have done a thorough background check on Mr. I'm Not Rummy and his affiliations with, Mayflower, Israel, and other enemy groups, and we are confident that he is not a spy or belonging allegiance to any of these communities. Um, as for association with Mossad, I can neither confirm nor deny that at this time. In any case, I'm sure that his interests are Ridgeway first.
Okay, thank you.
Again, if any of you guys have questions, feel free to just chat or raise your hand.
Mr. Governor, hello there.
Yes.
I'm personally wondering what would this nomination do to help encourage more citizens of Ridgeway to the bar, encourage them to join our judicial community in joining the Justice Department, the Public Defender's Office, and eventually our court system, as we do need more superior court judges.
Of course, that's a great question. I'm Not Rummy throughout his time in both Ridgemain and Ridgeway has always been a very driving factor into propelling the legal community forward. I mean, he has, after all, been the main engineer and developer of the Ridgeway Courts website that has pretty much revolutionized our court system and put us ahead of virtually every other Row State, Row Nation legal community. As for his presence on as being the Chief Justice, I believe that, his leadership is very resolute. I mean, he'll continue to not only expand on what the court currently has, but he will be also working very closely with the state bar and the lower court to, expedite, not only expedite its current proceedings, but also introduce new features to making our legal system more accessible. And, given that he's a very familiar and sort of respected face in our legal community, I think that a lot of people will see his nomination favorably and, see that, good progress is being made in restoring our judiciary and revitalizing our courts. And overall, I think that he would be the best figure of any individual currently to take on that mantle and continue revitalizing our judiciary.
Thank you, sir.
Again, if you have questions, just ping in the general chat or the stage chat, and we'd be happy to bring you up.
All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. If there's nothing else, we can end the press conference. As mentioned earlier, the nomination will be transmitted to the State Senate for its advance of consent. We would like to thank you all for coming for the conference today. May you all have a great
Bless you.
weekend ahead.
Yes, thank you all, and I do look forward to seeing the Senate hopefully speedily confirm Mr. I'm not Rummy. And as always, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to DM
Bless you,
myself or the press secretary, Ms. Hunistry. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, now we have to evacuate the room.